So in this lesson today, we're going to go over the derivatives, finding the derivatives using the product rule. So by the end of today's lesson, you'll know how to use the product rule to find derivatives. So product first means when we multiply two things together, right? So when we try to find the derivative of a product, then we're going to take the derivative of the first function times the second function plus the first function times the derivative of the second function. So again, this d over dx means derivative. So again, when we're multiplying two functions together and we're taking the derivative of that, we're going to, again, take the derivative of the first function times the second function plus the first function times the derivative of the second function. Now, you could take derivative and multiply them times the other function. So either way is fine with me, whichever one you feel more comfortable with. So example 1 says calculate the derivative. So notice we have a 2x here times an x squared plus 3x. So what I want to do is I want to talk through this. So remember, we're going to take the derivative. So we're going to say this is our first function, right? And then this one over here is our second function, right? So what we talked about was taking the derivative of the first function. So what is the derivative of the 2x? That's just 2, right? So we're then going to multiply that times our second function, which is x squared plus 3x. Then we're going to add to that, okay? Now again, we're going to talk now about our first function, the 2x times, again, now we're going to take the derivative of that second function. And remember, multiply this out front, so that's going to be 2x, right? And then that goes away, and this is just plus 3, okay? So what we did was took the derivative of the first function times the second function, and then we took the first function times the derivative of the second function. So now what does that give us? That gives us 2x squared plus 6x. We're just distributing this, right? Plus our 4x, again distributing this, right? So that's just plus 6x. No, 4x squared, sorry, my bad. Okay, so now we're looking for like terms, right? So we can simplify. So that would be 6x squared, and then plus our 12x, because those are like terms too. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video and see if you guys can do the next one. Come back to me when you're done. So once again, I'm going to take the derivative of this, which would be 3, and I'm going to multiply that times our other function, just our function. We're not doing anything with it right yet, okay? 5x, okay? Then we're going to add to that. Now we're going to do our 3x, and we're going to take the derivative of the second function, right? So here again, remember, we're going to multiply that times that, so that's 4x, right? And it drops by 1, and this is just going to be plus 5. So once again, we're going to do 3 times 2x. We're distributing this, right? So that's 6x squared plus 15x. And then we're going to distribute this again, so that's plus 12x squared plus 15x, right? Again, looking for some like terms. So 6 plus 12x squared. 6x squared plus 12x squared is 18x squared. And then 5x, 15x and 15x is 30x. All right, let's go on to the next one. So here we go. This time, again, remember, we're going to take the derivative of the first function and multiply it times our second function, right? So the derivative of this first function here, I don't know what happened to my arrow, was just 2, right? Because remember, that would go down. And then this would become nothing. So we're going to multiply that times our other function, which would be 1 minus 5x. Then we're going to add to that. Well, I don't know what's going on with my colors, y'all. We're going to add to that plus, we're going to do our 2x minus 3. 2x minus 3 times the derivative of the second function. Now again, remember, that's going to go away, and that's just going to become a negative 5 because that x is going to go away as 2. So it's just going to be times negative 5. So 2 times 1 is 2. Remember, we're distributing this, right? Minus 10x, okay? And then here again, we're going to distribute this way. So that would be minus 10x again, and that would be plus 15, right? So I see one pair of like terms here. Well, no, I take that back. I've got a 2 and a 15, right? That's going to be 17, and I got a negative 10x and a negative 10x. So that's going to be negative 20x plus 17. That's going to be my answer. All right, pause the video. Come back to me after you guys do this next one. So again, the derivative of this one, remember, that's going to be just 4 times our 3x plus 1, right? Plus The derivative of the second one is just going to be 3. So we're going to do our 4x minus 7 times our 3, right? Again, you might want to take the derivative first. Your call, y'all, however you do that. So this is going to be 12x plus 4. This is going to be plus 12x minus 21. So we get 24x. And that's going to be what? Minus 17, right? Minus 17? Yep, 24x minus 17. So I'm going to take the derivative of this term, and that's going to be 6 minus 2x. Multiply it times our 4 plus 3x. Then I'm going to take the derivative, or I'm going to do our 6x minus x squared, and multiply it times the derivative of the next one. So that's just going to be 3, right? Because again, that's going to go away, and that's going to reduce to, that's going to also go away. So it's going to end up being just 3. So this time we have a binomial times a binomial, right? So y'all remember how to do FOIL or the box, however you want to do this. If you want to do the box, you could do our 3x down here. We could figure out what it is, right? So that would be 6 times 4 is 24. That's going to be negative 8x. This is going to be 18x, and that's going to be negative 6x squared, right? So this is going to end up being 24 plus 10x minus 6x squared, right? This one we're just going to distribute it to both, right? So that's going to be plus 18x minus 3x squared, right? Okay. So here again, we're going to just combine some like terms. So I notice I got a negative 6x and negative 3x squared, so that's going to be a negative 9x squared, right? Negative 9x squared. Then we've got our 10x and our 18x, that's going to be plus 28x. And then we just got our 24. Okay. Pause the video, come back to me after you're done with the next one. So let's take the derivative of this. This is going to be 5 minus 3x squared, right? 3x squared, and we're going to multiply that times our 2x plus 9, right? Plus our 5x minus x squared, x cubed, sorry, times just our 2, right? Because again, that goes away, and that reduces to just 2, right? So here we are again. We could do our box again, or I'm going to just use FOIL. Is that okay with y'all first? So that's 10x. Outside is plus 45. Inside is going to be 6x to the third. Sorry, minus 6x to the third. No FOIL. First, outside, inside, last. Okay. This is going to be minus 6x to the third. And that's going to be minus 27x squared. This one's then going to be plus 10x minus 2x to the third. Okay, just double checking my work here. So here again, let's see what we have. I notice a 10x and a 10x there. I notice a negative and a negative 3. Those. So looks to me like I got negative 8x to the third minus 27x squared. Then I've got 10 and 10 plus 20x. And then I've got plus 45. So there we go. There's the answer to that one. One more, y'all. Okay, this one. So again, when we take the derivative of the first one, is going to be 2x minus 4. We're going to multiply that times our x minus 2 plus our x squared minus 4x plus 3 times, that's just going to be 1, right? Because it's just going to, I got a 1 out front, okay? So that one's not too hard, right? Okay. So this is, again, if you wanted to use the box, use the box. If not, 2x times x is 2x squared. That's first. Outside is minus 4x. Inside is another 4x. Last is plus 8. And this is just rewriting the term, right? Because anything times 1 is just itself. Plus x squared minus 4x plus 3. Okay, so let's see if we can find our like terms here. We've got a pair of like terms there. Looks like I got 1, 2, 3 of those, right? And then I've got these guys right here, okay? So that's going to give me 2x squared plus x squared is 3x squared. And negative 4 plus negative 4 plus negative 4 is going to be negative 12x. And then 8 plus 3 is 11. All right, this next one again. Pause the video here. Go ahead and do the next one. So this is 2x minus 2 times x to the third minus 1 plus x squared minus 2x plus 1 times 3x squared, right? Again, remember that one's going to go away. A constant becomes 0. Okay, so here again, I'm going to use FOIL. 2x times x cubed is going to be 2x to the fourth. Outside is going to be minus 2x. Inside is minus 2x to the third. Negative 2 times negative 1 is plus 2. Then we do 3x squared plus x squared. That's going to be 3x to the fifth. Then negative 2 times 3x squared is going to be negative 6x to the third plus 3x squared. Let's see if we can find our like terms this time. So I only see 1x to the fifth right there. So that's going to be, where did I get an x to the fifth from, y'all? That was not supposed to be an x to the fifth. That's supposed to be an x to the fourth. So we do have 2x to the fourth. So that's going to be 5x to the fourth, right? Then let's see if we got some thirds. There's a third and there's a third. So that would be minus 8x to the third, right? Let's see if I can find me another color here so we can see what matches. So then we got negative 2x. Ooh, I see x squared. Let me go back here. I see an x squared right there. So that's going to be plus 3x squared. Then I've got my minus 2x. Minus 2x. And then I see my little lone wolf 2 right there. Y'all see it right there? 2 plus 2. So there's our answer for that one.